Hello, hello, and welcome to Bla Bla Black Sheep, a weekly yarny podcast where I, Sarah Korth of SEK Handmade, answer your yarny questions. Welcome, you guys. Okay, two random things at first. One, I'm wearing my glasses again. I didn't want to say it during the episode that I wore my glasses last time because I worried that it was something that was just driving me bonkers, but you all didn't notice. But the second I pointed it out, it would be one of those things you couldn't stop being irritated by. I had my ring light on last time, and all I could see the whole time I was editing that episode was the ring light reflecting in my glasses. It irritated the bonkers out of me. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. Drove me crazy. So I hope you didn't notice. So I've learned my lesson, no ring light. I don't look at myself when I'm recording, so I didn't notice it while I was recording, of course. But I've learned my lesson. No ring light when I wear my glasses. It's fine. We have a nice sunny day today, a sunny adjacent day today, so it'll be fine. Two, I'm not recording at my normal time. Guys, my car keeps dying. My brand new car keeps dying. So I spent the morning at the dealership, and so it's after lunch here. And we never get together after lunch. I mean, technically, you get together with me after lunch, but I usually record first thing in the morning. So hopefully I have the same level of perk and enthusiasm. Because I normally record in the morning because I tend to kind of after lunch. And that's like the time like I gotta power through some computer work and maybe do a little crochet on the couch. So we're gonna get it done now. It's gonna be amazing. What am I gonna wear today? I'm gonna wear my Lumi cowl. My sister and I talked about this a while back, and we've decided that our aesthetic, we're calling it eccentric art teacher. So I'm going with a print, I'm going with a bold accessory with lots of colors and textures in it, and then I got a bold earring on that you can't see as well, but I'll show you in just a minute. So I'm going to put it on, I'm going to fold it over a little bit, and then I'm going to cinch it. Actually, no, I'm not going to fold it over a little bit. I'm just going to keep it all in one layer. I'm going to bring this down, and then I'm going to use my shawl cuff from Cobb's Crook Stitches. No, Sheepers. I keep saying it wrong. It's not Cobb's Crook, it's Cobb's Cook Stitches. So what you do is you push the little lever down and slide that open. And then you wrap it around, whatever you want to attach it around. You push the lever down again and slide the little loop back on. And then you've got that fun accessory. And I just like the way it's nice. It's really nice out today. We're in like the 60s, which is amazing. So this keeps it away from my neck a little bit, which I really like. So there you go. What is bringing me joy, you guys? This morning, I grabbed my coffee cup out of the cupboard and I look inside before I pour my coffee, and inside is a fortune cookie. Whenever my husband and my kids don't eat Chinese food, takeout Chinese food, I make a couple things that they eat, but that's beside the point. But so when we get takeout Chinese food, they always give extra cookies, and I just stick them up in my coffee mugs in the cupboard, honestly, to hide them from the kids a little bit, because I love me a good fortune cookie. And so I tend to then forget about them. And then every once in a while I'll pull a coffee mug out and there'll be a fortune cookie inside. And that was today. And I was like, woohoo! Morning fortune cookie. Yes, I ate it very first thing while I was making my coffee. It was delicious. Brought me so much joy. So I said we're talking afternoon time. I'm done with my coffee. I took it with me to the dealership this morning as they tried to tell me what was wrong with my car. So I'm drinking fizzy water today. I love a bubbly, and I'm loving this strawberry sunset flavor. It's new. It's strawberry, kiwi, pineapple flavors with other natural flavors. the mystery. So that's what you'll see me drinking today. I found my fortune cookie in my Earth Love by Danny mug, the B one. So I'll put a picture here. But I'm done with that. Coffee's all done. I'm not always great at it, but I do try to finish my coffee by midday so that it doesn't like disrupt my sleep at night. Cause I'm old. Oh, I should have said all the yarn from in my Lumi shawl is from Knitted Wit. This is leftovers from my, I almost said it back here, so I was going to point, but it's, I decided not to set it back there, I guess, from my Lumi shawl, which was my Advent shawl this last year. So let me show you these earrings. So my sister sent me these earrings and was like, aren't these fun? And I was like, yeah, they are. And so I decided to get them for her birthday. This is what I got her. But then, of course, I mean, while I was already paying for shipping, I should get some for myself, right? So I got these guys, and I love them. They're little rainbows. They're like an acrylic, so they're lightweight. Here's what I have learned, though. Normally, when I put earrings in, I squeeze the back in nice and tight because I'm paranoid about them falling off. But with this being inflexible, if I put the back on too tight, it makes the earring funny. Look at this. It makes it stick out funny. So to get it to have some little give, I have to pull the earring back away so that it lays like I'm a normal person. I mean, I'm not a normal person, but shh, we don't want everybody to know that. So these earrings and the earrings I'm getting my sister, which Tuesday was her birthday. So even if she watches this, which I don't think she does, I won't be ruining her birthday surprise. They're from Boo and Boo Factory, which is in Chicago, so right close by me. And then I got some yarn this weekend, last week, the end of last week, I think. And I thought, oh, we'll open that together. So Yarn Inc., who I got one of my Advents from last year, did a whole, what did she call it? Like a vulgarity collection or a, I don't know, but it was all cuss words. But one of, I do cuss. I will confess, I do cuss. But as a former teacher, I understand the importance of when. And so it's not a part of my common vernacular that I use outs and abouts. I would never, be cussing loudly in front of my children's school. I don't cuss in front of my children. I did by accident last week, and my little one was like, oh! But A, the colors were stunning, and B, she had one that was called, I won't, part of the reason I don't cuss is because I know that some of you watch these with little people around, and I don't want to, um, upset you or say things in front of or around your children that I wouldn't want people to say around my children. So this was Cancer, and after everything that happened with my mom, I decided I needed this one. So I thought we would unbox it together. So I don't know. The only other time I've ordered from her was, I'm trying to be so careful. I normally don't open things on camera because I fear that the pressure will cause me to like cut the yarn. But I think I'm doing okay. I've got a big fold over. So the only yarn that I purchased from her was my Advent kit for last year, which came boxed in like a box. Because, you need a lot of it for Advent. So I don't know if she always packages in a black bag or if this was just like, because it's naughty words. So I'm so excited for these. This was a pre-order. So it was like every once in a while I'd be like, I wonder when that's coming. And then I'd forget about it, and then I'd be like, I wonder when that's coming. And so it's here. All right, are you ready? Oh, I can already tell it's amazing. Okay. Oh, you guys. So the other thing was part of the proceeds went to a cancer research foundation. So it's so pretty. Look at that. I'm not going to flip it around because it has the name on the back of it. So if you have little people around, but they are so stunning, such bold, beautiful colors. And then you should be so proud of me. I'm quite proud of myself. I got these in DK weight. So I'm gonna make a shawl out of these. I don't know if I will do it in honor of my mom. I don't know if I'm ready for that. It's all very fresh and new, so I don't know if I'm ready for that. But I'm gonna make a shawl out of it, and because I need some DK weight shawls for sure. So there you go. Links to all the things down below. The Lumi, Cobb's, Crook. No, dang it, Cobb's Cook. For the shawl cuffs. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it, guys. I'm going downhill. Yarn. It'll all be down there. Check it out. So those are my small businesses. Let's talk announcements real quick. Guys, can you believe that it is almost May? Hoi, 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 this month is flying by. Being gone for a whole week of it out of town did not help with the flying by. I'm already starting to I'm not panicking yet, though I don't guarantee that I won't be panicking down the road. But I am starting to think ahead for like, what does this summer look like? And do I need to record stuff out ahead of time, like tutorials and stuff, to make sure that I'm present for my children and not unable to record things because I need quiet, and I can't force them to be quiet for big chunks of time. That's just not fair. I went like this because the big one is at home today. He's not feeling well. I think it's just allergies. Every once in a while he gets really bad allergies. It was real bad in like kindergarten when we were in Ohio. And we just are figuring out. He is preteen. He's oldish. He's not little tiny anymore. And he's almost as tall as I am. He obviously doesn't weigh as much as I do, but he's almost as tall as I am. And it's starting to dawn on my husband and I, like, he's adult size now. So, like, we had been giving him kids allergy medicine. And, like, just 2 days ago, I was like, you know what? I bet he could take adult allergy medicine. And then we started looking, and the adult dose is like double. And I'm like, yeah, he's taking like toddler doses, and he's the size of an adult. So he's been on the adult allergy medicine for like a day. So, but he did say he's feeling better. So I think it's just allergies. Frankly, I was just being nice, letting him stay home today. He's going to school tomorrow. Let's see. Okay, so April's almost done. It's almost May, which means our shawl along is wrapping up. Does that mean you can't join in for the last little bit? No. No, it does not. You're welcome to join in if you don't finish a shawl. That's fine. Ooh, it's right here. Just a second. Okay, so I didn't show you last week. I've made a little bitty more progress on my shawl that I'm working on. I'm working on my Cordelia shawl, and I've got this much done, and I feel real good about this because when I started, I had this much done. So I've gotten quite a bit done. I'm at the point where I have, per the pattern, I have one more repeat of this and then the top. But when I made this, when I designed this, I was limited by the yarn that I got from We Crochet, and I'm not limited as I'm remaking it. So I think I'm going to make it bigger. These are two different if you look closely at the stripes, like this stripe and this stripe is different. This one's a semi-solid and this one is like a speckle. I don't know if you can see that because I can't see when I hold this up in front of my face. And so I have a bunch of those left. That and that left. And then I'm still on my first skein, just barely, I know. Still on my first skein of the deep maroon, but I have a whole nother skein. So I think I'm going to make it bigger. My question that I'm debating with myself is, do I add the bigger into the pattern, or do I just remake it to what I want and make a project on Ravelry? I'd love if you'd let me know what you would prefer. Would you rather that if I'm going to share that in the pattern for that I have like written instructions? It wouldn't be hard to do. I would just have to do it and probably get it tech edited again. Or are you like, nah, that's okay. I can figure out like making more of a pattern. Let me know. The other thing I wanted to tell you about the spring shawl along is that there are prizes. And so if you join us and work on one of my shawls, even if you don't finish it, you will be in the running for prizes. And now I'm feeling unsure about it. So I'm going to read it. There will be a shawl cuff from Cobb's Cook Stitches, not Crook, Cook Stitches, that Monique is donating. Miss Babs, who I did my Flossie shawl with, is giving a $50 gift card, which is super generous. Their yarn is gorgeous. Veronica of Blue Star Crochet is giving away a class of hers that I know you will love, and so there are some really great prizes. You can join us on Discord, you can join us on Instagram, and you can join us on Facebook. The links are below. I will not go further into that. And then next month, back up. Saturday, the 27th, is Local Yarn Shop Day. Go support your local yarn shops. And then check to see if your local yarn shop is offering my pattern for free with purchase of yarn. It's upstairs. I gave my first sample to Sarah, my local yarn shop, so that she can have it for Saturday. And then my second sample needs to be blocked. Guys, I have to wash the sink to block it. Dragging my feet on that one. Why? I don't know. It's not going to take long. Part of it is it's like 1 o'clock and I'm recording this because I spent all morning at the car dealership unexpectedly. Yeah, let's blame it on that. How about? Next month is May. It is my birthday month. It is end of school year month, which is always chaos. There will be no big event next month. We'll continue chatting on Discord. We'll continue chatting in the Make Along group, but there's no official event. You can, if you need an assignment for next month, here's my assignment. You can start several whips, and then we'll do another whip wrap up in June. So get yourself some whips, and then you'll be ready to join us in June for whip wrap up. So those are the announcements. Questions. Let's do questions. This is going to be, I got a really short one and then what could potentially be kind of a long one. So let's do it. No, let's not do it. Let's back up. You can ask a question via the link in the show notes below. I would love to do another birthday episode, which, depending on if I do it slightly before my birthday or like about a week after my birthday, would need to be next week. So questions about me. I would love to know. Do you have questions about me? Do you have questions about my family? Why I started designing? how I design, what my plot is for having the children at home all summer and still continuing with my small business? Do you want to know a favorite of mine? Ask them below, and let's see if we can do like a meet the maker kind of style situation sometime this month. So let's get to this week's questions. Question, no, one comes before two. Question number one. You mentioned creating a list of crochet sample makers for yarn sellers. Would designers be able to seek sample makers via your list? I have a regular sample maker I work with in the same country as me, but if I create a design for a publisher elsewhere, could your list help me find a sample maker in the publisher's country to make the sample in their yarn from the pattern I've written? I feel like this could save me a lot of time plus shipping and tax costs versus having the yarn sent back and forth internationally. Yeah, I think it definitely could, especially if the company is not offering to ship the yarn back and forth, which I will say the companies that I have worked with have paid for shipping. So check into that. That wasn't something that was always clear from me at the beginning. A company that I worked with that shall remain nameless because I don't want you to think I'm bad mouthing them. I was working with them, a friend of mine was working with them, and she was like, blah, 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 adding the shipping to my invoice. And I was like, I didn't even think about adding the shipping to my invoice. I was just miffed that that came out of my payment to ship the sample to them. They didn't specifically say invoice us for your fee, which was contracted, and the shipping costs. And so I just didn't even think that that was possible. So the first thing I would say is if a company wants a sample, they should ship you the yarn and then pay you to ship it back to them. So that's my 2 cents on that. But that's not the question you asked. So let me answer your question. Yes. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that anybody has signed up yet to the sample maker list. I have not done a great job of promoting it. So I need to do better at that. I need to get it out there in several places. But if that list starts getting people on it, yeah, absolutely. Anybody who would be looking for a sample maker could absolutely use it. So, of course, happy to help. All right. Question number 2. That was the short question. Here's the long question. It's a short question, but it's going to take me longer to answer. So, question number 2 is, could you do a stash tour? Okay, so I've been putting this off for a while because I have a lot of yarn. So, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna call a partial stash tour. I'm definitely not going to get to show you every skein of yarn I have. And you'll see why in a minute when I turn you around and show you where I keep a good chunk of my yarn, but not all of it. Okay, so let's do a stash tour. Okay, so can you see why I said this is a big undertaking? When we moved into, I can't. When we moved into our house in Wisconsin, this bookshelf was upstairs. And very kindly, my dad and my husband moved it down into my office for me. This house has an office, which I took over. And I have my work in here. My chair that I talk to you from is behind me now. I have a table. I don't know how much I want to move you around if I'm going to make you sick. I have a table over here that I do a bunch of work on. This is a door to our garage. This is like shoes and some of my stuff. And yeah, so this shelf is tall. It So I've got stuff all the way up there. That's my stash of Malabrigo. I use Malabrigo in a lot of my stuff. And so I've got just a pile of it up there to keep me like it in my eyesight to know what I can grab out of there. I make my tiered pattern sets in Malabrigo quite a bit. Okay. Then this top shelf is just kind of a jumble of stuff. I've got super bulky scraps in here. I've got some scraps. This is Cooper and Duncan. They were our first dogs. And then up in here is some yarn. Some of this is yarn that was gifted to me from yarn companies. So there's some Blue Sky Fiber stuff up here. Like this super bulky was gifted to me from Blue Sky Fibers for being part of their maker program. It's so squishy. And then I have some more leftover skeins from working with them. And then you've seen this before. This is my color pooling yarn. And then some big box yarn over there, some Lion Brand. That gray skein there is a Color Made Easy. I do a lot of my tutorial videos with that because it's got real good stitch definition, so it's easy to see. And then just some more super bulky over there. If you see, I'm going to go up a little bit again. This skein right here, that like jumbo, I can't think of the official name. That's what I used to demonstrate during my classes. My youngest was like, can you make me something out of that? And I was like, no, I can't. So then this basket over here is kind of the basket of the unknown. It's stuff I've gathered. This was something I bought, oh gosh, years ago. I was going to make myself this little wrap top. I still have the magazine that the pattern was in. Will I ever get to it? I don't know. It's bamboo, merino, and silk. It's very nice. And it's such pretty colors. I don't know. Maybe I should just make a shawl out of it. It'd be great for spring. Nice and lightweight. And then I have some of this, grabbed an earring there by accident. Some of this shelter, which is, it's woolen spun. That's what I was looking for. It's woolen spun. So it's a worsted weight yarn, but it's like super lightweight and super cozy. So I have some of that I thought would be fun to play with, but I haven't yet. I'm thinking that next year I really want to do color work stuff. And so I have several colors of that. That would be great for color work. Kind of hidden back in here are some cakes of yarn. So I can remove some stuff here. Some cakes of yarn. Some of it is a gradient that was pre-caked. Some of it, like this was, I think this was left over from, yeah, my original Cordelia shawl. And then just some other stuff that I've caked up and haven't used quite yet. Let's see, where did I do everything? Okay, what are you doing, man? Are you gonna just stand there and look at me? Sorry about that. The big one thought he was going to help, but he was really just lurking. He's like, I'm gonna be your camera guy. And I was like, I don't need a camera guy. Okay, so then this is full of worsted, no, this is full of fingering weight yarn. Of all sorts of shapes and varieties. Part of the reason I'm doing this now is because I just went through my yarn because I was looking for DK weight yarn for a shawl that I'm planning. And so I rearranged. So this is all, this is almost all fingering weight and sport weight, which this is sport weight, this is sport weight, this is sport weight. Like most of it's fingering weight. If you are ever yarn shopping with me, tell me to buy some sport weight because that's something I'm seriously lacking in. This is all my DK weight. This blue is DK weight, and everything in this guy is DK weight. The other weight of yarn that I'm lacking in is DK weight. This is all planned for a knit sweater. It's like a nice olivey kind of color. What else do I have here? These are really fun and pretty from Haute Knit. This is her colorway. I think I've shared this before. It's called Ice Cream Delight. Definitely a fun summery color. This was a monthly colorway from East Coast Yarns called Northern Lights. This is a D-stash that I bought from someone that stopped dyeing yarn. The Knitsmith, I guess it says right there on the packaging. And I have enough to make, for sure, some sort of sweater out of this. So at first I was like, oh, maybe I'll use that for the shawl. And then I was like, no, I can't. Like, how often do you get such nice yarn in a sweater's quantity at such a reasonable price? Because it was D-stash. This is Asylum Fibers. This is Asylum Fibers. And then I have like a light gray in Asylum Fibers too, that I definitely should use for a shawl. I got this when I was in Chicago 2 summers ago with my friends. This is DK weight. I don't know why I keep saying it's DK weight. I told you everything in here was DK weight. But these are Farmer's Daughters fibers. And so those two go together. Definitely make a shawl out of that someday. All right, let me stuff some of this back in here. So that's the teeny bit of DK weight that I really have. Oh, let me show you. I almost didn't show you this because I had pulled it out. This is what I settled on. I told you I was going through my yarn for a project, for a shawl, and this is what I settled on. Are you ready for this? You aren't ready because it's amazing. Okay. I found in my worsted weight shelves this yarn from Subculture Yarn, and it is called Rainy Oil Slick. What? It is just amazing. It's this really deep gray with those deep teals and pinks and purples in it. It's just really gorgeous. So I'm going to make a shawl out of that this fall. And then I have a coordinating yarn because, you know, I like to make it in 2 things. And then let me tip you downwards. Ooh, sorry. That is really covering up the camera. Okay. Then let's talk about this shelf. So this is all of my worsted weight yarn that is not Malabrigo. So I said that, and now I'm going to pull something out, and it's Malabrigo. I did a collaboration with Knit Crate and for their Malabrigo box, and I did a pattern in this gorgeous cotton, a table runner. And so I got the box with the exact colorway in it, and then I had some left over because it was a nice summery table runner. And so I've got several skeins. I have 3.5 skeins of that in worsted weight. I gotta try not to knock over my little ceramic bird. I don't want him to get broken because I like him. I got this yarn. You've seen this. This is somewhat recent from Yarn Cafe Creations. This is Blue Water Breeze. It is, hold up a second. I thought this was worsted weight. It's sport weight. Look at me buying sport weight yarn. Now I don't have a spot to put it up there. I'll have to move it later. Okay. I thought that was worsted weight. I wasn't even paying attention. I thought everything I bought from her was worsted weight. This is worsted weight. See, it's called they're both called Mocha. That must be the fiber content. So this is Mocha Sport and this is Mocha Worsted. So I have a couple skeins of this guy. So pretty. And then I had thought let's see, what else do I want to pull out of here? This is some yarn that I bought at the Wisconsin Fiber Festival. That's not what it's called. I can't remember. And so I met the farmer. He lives by my parents. I think my parents actually maybe know him. So that's fun and special. And then what was I going to grab out of here? I was going to grab, oh, these guys. This one's really fun. This was something my local yarn shop got in last year. I was going to make a second Marin shawl with this. I have 2 of this colorway and 1 of a more tealy. I'm really mucking this up. I had it so a more tealy. But I think I should design something new with this because I only have 1 worsted weight shawl, and I definitely need more than 1. So that is some of my worsted weight collection. And then right here, I have a whole bunch of stroll from back when I was working more regularly with We Crochet. If you are looking to dip your toes into a fingering weight yarn, I highly recommend Stroll. They're all solid or like heathered colors. I should say the last time I checked, which was a long time ago. But they've got some really great, bold colors that I really love. And it's at a good price point. And I think it's not 100% wool, but it's not 100% acrylic either. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, it's not any different than like a sock yarn. It's 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. So that's not bad. You just don't get the fun, fancy colors. But it's a nice yarn. So I highly recommend that. And then this whole thing is fingering, and this whole thing is fingering weight yarn. What do I have in here that's fun to show you? This guy is from, oh gosh, this guy is from Cornbread and Honey. Why I couldn't think of that. I was just talking to Tanya. So that's gorgeousness. This is another favorite skein of mine. I was going to use this for a pattern coming out in June, but I'll tell you the whole story when the pattern comes out. But I got something different that's like really, it's perfect for the project. So this guy's going to be saved until later for another perfect project because he's stunning. And then this guy, I love this guy too. I think I got this from my local yarn shop. This is Knit Bros. Look at those colors. I should open it up to see how it's going to pool, but that's really pretty too. That was actually another one that I thought I was going to use for the same project. Do I pick out one yarn and always stick to it? No, no, I don't. So I changed that up quite a bit. This is a D-stash that I bought from Hedgehog Fibers. A friend of mine had like a fade, and so I bought the fade from her. I don't know that this is the order of the fade. Actually, it's pretty close if it's not the order. Maybe these two switch. But part of me really wants to make just a super simple, gigantic knit shawl out of this. We'll see though. This is another favorite of mine. Ah, yes, this is from Yarn Cafe Creations too. Isn't that pretty? It's a little like the oil slick, but maybe slightly more rainbow. I almost was like, I give up. I'm just going to make this shawl out of fingering weight too. And then I saw this and I was like, that's so pretty. And then I was like, oh, I have a DK weight that's similar. So that's what I shifted. I shifted there. And then I can't go through all of that. It's just so much. So I'm going to tip you even further down. Dang it. I got to stop doing that. Sorry. Okay. And I'm going to talk about, that's my microphone. Sorry. Just trying to get you decent sound quality. Okay. So I have 2 bins down here. One here and one here. and that's Weston's kennel. He sleeps in my office. So this guy over here is full of, should have brought my stool over to sit on. It's fine. You can hear me. You don't need to see my face. You know what it looks like. So this guy over here is full of acrylic yarn mostly from We Crochet, from back when I was working with We Crochet. These are pom-poms by Sarah is her name. No hooks given. These are some crochet hooks that I bought online and was really disappointed in. We're not talking about that. I'm still mad about it. This is my storage for all of my fancy crochet hooks. It's a pen. It's a box for pens. My friend Fatima told me about it, but it fits crochet hooks, like nice crochet hooks, like ergonomic, perfectly. I'll link it below if you want to grab one of those. And then this whole thing is full of yarn as well. And it's a little, this is mostly my grab bag stuff. So I have on top here, these are all DK. I have almost a sweater's quantity of this. So part of me is like giant blanket shawl. And part of me is like sweater. But I'll be honest with you, I'd probably get a blanket shawl done before I get a sweater done. And then under that, I have a lot of my grab bag. Like, remember when I was big into buying mystery packages? And then I said never again? So a lot of that's under here. So, this is a mystery bag from, dang. Oh, it's Daisy Stitches Co. I was like, I know what that is. There's another grab bag from Yarn Cafe Creations. Another grab bag from Daisy Stitches Co. This is some yarn that I should have bought in a different weight, but a chick that knits was doing a sale, and my tip for buying fancy yarn, if you're not sure, buy it when it's on sale so that you can spend less, so if you don't like it, it's okay. I got this on sale. It's gorgeousness. Highly recommend her yarn. This is one of the advents I got this year, so it's coming. And I got another 2 skeins, so that could make either 2 nice, like, small-ish shawls or 1 real big shawl. What other funness do I have in here? Oh, this is Fatima yarn, Aquarius make, I should say, fingering weight. And then I got some of this on a D-stash too. It is Plötelupi, probably not the right accent, but I'm trying. It's an unspun yarn, and I really wanted to try it. I found some of it on a D-stash, and then I found some more of it in Portland when I went to visit my friend Amber last year. And so I have like a little stash of that I could probably make a sweater with. So that's fun. My local yarn shop owner, Sarah, got some of this, and she was curious if it was good for crocheting, so she gave me a little leftover and let me try to crochet with it, and it was very interesting. Have not decided if I'm going to crochet or knit with that. So that's that. On my bottom shelf here, I have a bunch of books. I started knitting when you had to buy books. Like, Ravelry wasn't even really a thing yet. So I have a lot of knitting books. I really need to go through and maybe get rid of some of that stuff. Okay, I'm going to take you over to one more little place, and then I'm going to be done because I've been talking for a while. Okay, so you're going to have to forgive the mess because this is definitely messy. But I have some more yarn over here. Over here is a antique dresser, and that was my grandmother's. And so I have some yarn in there. Most of it is scrap yarn, except for, I don't know if I've ever told you the story back in the way back. I decided that I was going to do craft shows, And so that was when wool spun was going out of stock. And so my Joann's helped me get a ton of wool stock in. And it would have been perfection if I had continued to do markets, but then we moved and I just didn't have it in me. Well, and then the world shut down for the pandemic. Anyways, so I'm not selling finished items anymore, but I've hung on to it because I really like the yarn. It gives great stitch definition and I have so much of it. I thought like I could make like I could probably make a blanket, but I'm not much of a blanket person, but I was like, I could make like a big, super cozy, like cardigan, or just something that I'd like keep on my chair here maybe and like throw around me. Anyways, these are upcoming projects that I've picked out the yarn for that actually now I'm thinking I'm going to go back through because I had a yarn company reach out to me, a dyer, and say, we'd love to work with you. And I said, I'd love to work with you too. So I need to get together with them and decide what we're going to do for that. But then I have I've decided to help keep myself a little organized. These are skeins of yarn that are either additional skeins in projects I'm currently working on or things that I already have plans for. So this gray here is from Blue Sky Fibers. That's my second maker program pattern that I'm doing with them. So that's already like decided on what it's going to be. So it's staying there. And then these are some of these, I should say, this guy is for a new shawl pattern coming up. And then I have this teal skein and another skein that's kind of tucked behind that I still haven't finished my second Lumi shawl. But that's what that's designated for. And then this is my desk. It is very messy. But up here, I have some cakes of not completely finished. These are mostly like big cakes. So if I've got like half or more of it left, they're right there. And then I have a whole bunch of little mini skeins so that they were all kind of tucked in with the other big skeins of yarn and they were getting lost. So I was like, they need their own little home. So they're up there. Also, part of the purpose of these is to just keep the little skeins up on the shelf there. So there you go. That's my yarn tour. Thank you so much for joining me today. I don't know where to stand now because I'm not sitting in my chair. I hope you enjoyed the tour. It's just a little taste of the many, many, many things of yarn I have. I do want to say, before we say goodbye here, everyone has their own tolerance for stash, I guess I should say. Some people love a big stash. Obviously, I'm one of those people. Some people buy their yarn with a project in mind and they use it for that project and then it's done and they keep a very small stash. I never want anyone to feel like they're being judged because you do keep a big stash or don't keep a big stash. It's all personal preference. Yeah. Yarn has been my hobby for a long time. It's been my business for over 5 years. So in that time working with different companies and just pandemic shopping, I have definitely gained quite the stash. So I hope that that was fun. And if you have any questions about specific dyers or specific yarns or how I pick things, I'd love to know. Drop that question in the comments below or in the question section. But this was fun. So thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great week. We'll see you here next week. Happy crafting!